So, hey everyone, this is going to be a little rant video and story time video pertaining to League. It's more of like a general broad like player behavior and a little bit of ranked rant. All this stemmed from an ARAM game, so bear that in mind. Wasn't playing any ranked. Was playing ARAM for a couple hours. Really, all that came out of it was two rants. This is the first one. Second one I'm going to be uploading right after this. But hope you guys enjoy my little 15-minute long rant, and if you enjoy it, or if you agree, or if you have any thoughts about anything I said, feel free to comment down below. But until the next time, I hope you guys take care. Enjoy my rant. Peace out. Or see you until the next time, alternatively. I don't know, if I were her, I'd be pinging our freaking Quinn, because our Quinn's been gone the entire time. Even if we want to make the argument of like, oh, but she has bad, her internet's bad. It doesn't matter, right? If someone has bad internet, yeah, it sucks. It's super unfortunate. But like in a case like this, where it does negatively impact the game, it does negatively impact the game. I mean, is it something that's I would say report worthy? I would say no, but it definitely is like, man. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, hold on, was that person? That was them. I'm like, look, this is gonna be a little rant, a little ramble. Might make this into its own little like small 1-2 minute video thing, whatever. But in my opinion, if someone leaves, and I'm by no means saying, hey, DM this person and tell them that they have crap internet or whatever, right? But I'll say this. If someone is genuinely, they have bad internet or just bad connection or whatever, and they keep getting DC'd from the game, but in the brief little periods of time where they are present for the game and they're really trying, I don't got a problem with it. Like, yeah, it sucks and it's unfortunate and we're probably going to end up losing because of it, but it's like, or not probably, but there's a good likelihood of losing because of it. It's like, yeah, it feels rough and it's easy to get emotionally charged and heated by that. Or if not heated because, and heated and like passionate about the person who's DCing, but rather, that person DCing just puts more pressure on everyone else to perform, and then people might lash out against each other. So the way I look at it is, it's like, if you have crap internet and if you have crappy-ish internet and you DC and you just keep DCing no matter how much you are trying to play and or fix whatever Wi-Fi problems you may have, on one hand, getting punished because of effectively disrupting the gameplay is fair. However, I don't think it's fair to report them. The League's client doing the automated punishment system, I think that's fine. But going out of your way to be like, report that guy, he was intentionally doing it. No, that person by no means, I would imagine, was not intentionally trying to be that disruptive. It may just quite literally be like, hey, internet right now is kind of crap. Kind of can't do much about it. And sure, you could be that person and be like, oh, why are you playing the game then if your internet's crap? Because you're going to be probably disrupting the game. And it's like, they may not know that. It may be something where it's like their internet, their Wi-Fi has been fine all day. They haven't had any connection issues, any streaming issues with like watching YouTube or Netflix or whatever. And then just in this one League of Legends game, ranked or unranked, they just have problems. Right? It's unfortunate. It is what it is. But it's fine. Yeah, it sucks. And granted, shit happens. Life happens. Whether that be you're in the middle of a match and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, look, dinner's ready. And yeah, you could say, oh, well, it's on you because you know that dinner's getting ready. Sure, it may be on, like I just as in a personal example, I can take the blame for being like, yeah, dinner's going to be ready in like 20 minutes. And here I am in an ARAM game, which ARAM games tend to last somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. It's not unreasonable to assume that the game will be done by the time dinner's ready, and then dinner's ready, and then I go and leave and go eat. There have been times where the ARAM game goes on for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and dinner's done. Unfortunately, I gotta get up and go eat dinner because I'm not gonna place the game, right? Like in this sense, like a League of Legends game, higher than like, hey, like dinner's ready. I'm really hungry. I really want to eat, or it's something that I'm like, ooh, I haven't had this in a long time, and I want to eat it, right? And that's just one example. Other examples could be just, hey, kids crying, I gotta go, check on them, blah 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 blah, or oh, dog threw up in the hallway, I need to clean that up. Okay, cool. Or some other kind of like real life sort of emergency thing. You never know. You never know what it could be. And I do. And then granted, I've had this perspective since even back when when I first got into League back in middle school, high school. Where it's like, yeah, I care. Like I care enough, and I'm willing to take the game seriously enough to play it, like, and to try to play it competitive. I mean, crap. I was in a high school esports team, like little local esports team during high school. And like, granted, I wasn't necessarily a permanent member of the team. I was a permanent sub, but I tended to get into practice games more often than not because something ended up happening with the person on the team who was the support, and all that happened. And granted, my perspective of League has always just been like, hey, like, yeah, it's a game, and people are going to take it seriously, and people who take it seriously, are seriously really good at the game. I'm not trying to knock anyone like Faker or T1 or anyone who's, challenger in the, top 500. I mean, I'm basically a nobody, but I mean, when you look at, anyone's thing, it's like, hey, if you can make it to gold, right? Either get placed in gold or climb to gold, and let's just say you're comfortable there. You're average. You're an average to above average player of League of Legends. Or above average, or maybe more above average than average, because people tend to be in like silver to bronze, at least here in North America. And this is a big assumption. But, like I know, like for myself, this is kind of a big tangent and rant, right? Is like, you look at ranked, right? And I'm gonna go to my collection, and we're gonna go to Aatrox, right? Way back when Victorious Aatrox came out, when that skin was announced, it was like, I think like a month or so, or a little over a month before the season ended, back in 2019. Quite literally a month before the season ended, and they announced the skin. I saw the splash art, I saw it, and at the time I was really into playing Aatrox, right? I said to myself, I'm gonna get to gold, bare minimum I want to get to gold 4, and I'm only doing it for the skin. And having done that, right, once, but having done that and having had played ranked before, what did I take away from that? And it's like, well, ranked is kind of hell. Which, I mean, no duh, I've watched plenty of streamers, play ranked and whatnot. And these are like, you're talking about T1, Night Blue, and all that, and they're diamond high and diamond and higher. So you're talking about, Emerald, Grandmaster, and Challenger players, and it's just like, yeah, it's a completely different game. When you look at people like that, and people in my elo, but then it's like you look at people in low elo, right? Low to mid elo. It's more low elo, but like you look at people, who are gold and lower. I mean, probably even like platinum and lower. But you look at people in this bracket, right? This just generally large skill bracket. And man, you have so many people with just these massive egos. It's funny. Right? And I say this as someone who's solo queued support for every time I've ever played my placements and then did provisionals to get out of, bronze 2 to bronze 1, bronze 1 to silver 4 and all that. And granted, I haven't played ranked in years. I think the last time I played ranked was to get Victorious Age Rock. So it's been, 5-6 years. It's been a minute. But generally speaking, my experience within ranked has never really been too different from one season to the next. Even if some things with like the ranking system or like whatnot have changed. But in my experience of playing ranked, as someone who's main support, that is the main role I've tended to play. Started as someone who played top, branched out, played everything a fair amount. Ultimately, it was just kind of like stuck, stayed in support. Not because I don't find mid or top or any other lane like unenjoyable. It's just more of like, hey, I like the support champions quite a bit. And it is in a weird way like a brain off, but also like lock in kind of role. And then for the sense of like playing ranked, part of what has made me kind of go like, there's not really a point, is just the people, right? You deal with so many interesting characters, and granted, a lot of the time, most of the time with most people, they're not going to say anything. They're not going to say anything in chat. Maybe they might ping you, like question mark ping you, or ping an item or whatever, right? But typically it's like most people aren't going to say anything, and they're just going to go about their ranked journey or whatever. And I think and for the most part, it's better to not say anything than to say something. Or at least if you're going to say something, try to be constructive about it. Don't try to tear someone down, right? Because the second you start doing that, you will start making the game go worse in one way or another, from my experience. Now in my like general ranked experience and whatnot, there's always been those handfuls of people, AD carries, right? The people I'm playing with directly with, where they're like, don't even look at the minion, don't even breathe on it, don't even think about it, right? And it's just like, I mean, I get it. It's their CS, it's their minions, it's their gold. They need the gold. They're the AD carries. They should be getting gold. But it would be to like such a point where they could miss the minion. I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything to it, right? Or maybe like a skill shot hit it by accident because I missed hitting my intended target, and it hit the cannon minion, and then that brought it down lower, too low to where my AD carry couldn't last hit it. And then they start question mark picking me, and it's just like, well, I'm sorry, I accidentally hit the thing. Like, sorry. And like, and I've had plenty of experiences where it's like, those people do that, and then they get that heated about it, and I can try to be as apologetic and as polite and kind, just be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying not to touch the minions. And then they'll go ballistic anytime they themselves miss the candy minion or whatever, when they mistimed the last hit or whatever. Or like, I'll get flamed, like as an example, like I would get flamed for going and placing a ward, and it's a completely blind ward. I'm doing my job. I'm going and placing the ward. I've checked the map. Okay, cool. We generally speaking know where like most of the team is. We don't know where the jungler is, but I'm moving in a way that's, I'm conscious of that. And then it gets into this whole thing of like, okay, I get jumped, I die, and then now I'm getting flamed. And like, yeah, you say it's my fault because, oh, you face checked the bush, but it's like, I was going to ward the bush. I was going to the bush to ward it so that we had vision. And then just at that moment in time, oh, the jungler was there, or like someone else was there, and I get jumped, and it's like, I'm not omniscient. Like I'm not omnipresent. I don't know everything and everything. And the thing about it that makes it annoying is neither do those people, right? Neither do these incredibly full of themselves AD carries stuck in bronze. They think they're the next coming of Christ or whatever, and it's just like, dude, you're not him. Like, you may think you're him, but you're not. You're another nobody, right? Like me or like other people. And granted, nobodies can become somebodies, but it's this whole thing where it's like, man. And so just because of that, and because of just that kind of occurrence happening so often in my ranked journey in League of Legends, it was just kind of like, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth playing a mode in a game that functionally doesn't play differently from the normal, draft pick, but then everyone treats some number, right, that you earn when you complete the match as like more valuable than gold, or like then like platinum and whatnot, like more valuable than anything worldly. And then yeah, like I don't know, it's just frustrating.